What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, well, I was trawling through Amazon Japan, as I tend to do I'm going to be honest, it's a daily basis, right? I do it all the time. And I came across this image, which is, of course, the upcoming Starter Deck 15, which is Edward Newgate. And then I kept searching, and I found out that over on Amazon, we can find all the images for these upcoming Starter Decks, images which are not yet on the official website, but also we can take a look and use this to judge which of these decks are going to be very easy to get hold of in Japan, and which of these are going to be, well, to put it bluntly, a little bit of a pain. Plus, if nothing else, we get to look at a fuller version of the artwork, and this is rather lovely. Now, there are two of the decks which are looking at the moment like they are going to be a little bit of a pain to get hold of, and the most awkward among them seems to be Charlotte Katakuri. And look, we're not going for super complex methodology here. Essentially, they're up for pre-order on Amazon Japan. You can go on Amazon Japan and pre-order them at the moment, or at least some of them. Katakuri's just not there. And it's not there, but there's a few people selling it for a bit more now, mate. It's just not there. The Charlotte Katakuri deck is not available on Amazon Japan right now. It's not up for pre-order, it's not up for sale, there's nobody listing it, it is just not available. And this kind of makes perfect sense, because Charlotte Katakuri is a very, 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 very good leader. It is, I mean, look, right now, we personally, in the UK, US, Europe, etc., we are in the OPO 6 meta. And somehow in the OPO 6 meta, Charlotte Katakuri is better than it was before even. It's the third biggest deck right now. It's a pretty big deal. Of course, we know the deal with these starter decks at this point, right? They are just straight reprints of leaders that came around in, well, previous sets, and not all from the same place. So we've got Charlotte Katakuri from OPO 3, and we got the alternate art from OPO 3. We don't know what else is in the deck. We know that there are 15 different cards per deck, 50 cards total, plus a leader, plus 10 Don and 3 index cards. We know there are going to be 2 super rares, 3 rares, 1 uncommon and 8 common. We know there are going to be some reprints, maybe they're all reprints, maybe there's some new cards, we don't know. So when you're looking at this Charlotte Katakuri deck, we're going, right, well, maybe, look, we're not getting a reprint of the secret rare Charlotte Katakuri. That would be amazing, but as a secret rare, not a super rare, it's not coming. Could there be a big mum in there? Maybe. We don't know what's in there. The deck lists haven't been released yet. But the point I'm making is there are some very, very good cards that could appear in the Charlotte Katakuri deck, and I think people are hedging their bets along those lines. The other one that is proving very, very difficult, it is up on Amazon, but you have to pay reseller prices, it's not up there at retail, is the Uta starter deck. Now, this one is very interesting to me, because this is a starter deck that is reprinting a leader from a starter deck. This is Starter Deck 11 Uta, which of course means there is no alternate art version, there is no fancy version of this Uta. This is the only version we got so far. So now we get a new version, and all of a sudden that could legitimately be the coolest version. And that's one of the reasons I think this Uta is going to be a bit more popular, because we don't have an alternate art. There was no alternate art in a previous set. So this becomes the alternate art, and that's rather lovely. Of course, we could get a reprint of a bunch of the green film stuff, but this one is super confusing to me, because we already had a bunch of reprinted film cards, like Luffy, like Brook, for instance, in Starter Deck 11 with this new leader. What else are we going to do? Is it going to reprint some of the exclusive cards like the Uta? Because Starter Deck 11 is really hard to get hold of in the West. So maybe it's going to be like that. Is it finally going to be reprinting the Nami from OPO2, the best card that wasn't reprinted before? Again, this is all conjecture. We don't know what the deck lists are looking like. But I'm telling you right now, these have a lot of potential. I think these are extremely cool. These are the two which are going to be a pain to get hold of, and I kind of understand why. The other four all seem pretty easy to get hold of at the moment. We'll see if that changes as we go to the release date. And of course, the release date is the 13th of July. As another little side note here, these are supposed to be budget decks. These are 550 yen decks, if you can get hold of them. Now, Smoker's the one I'm most excited about. Smoker was my favourite leader from OPO2, the leader that I most wanted to be good. I think it's fair to say up to now it hasn't been particularly good. Yes, we did get the manga head as well in OPO2. As it stands at the moment, Smoker's not a great deck. Smoker's not been making waves. Smoker's not proven to be particularly good, but I live in hope. And we don't know. Again, we don't know what's in these. But I'm hoping there's going to be at least a couple new cards. Like, take the Uta starter deck as an example. That was mostly a reprinted starter deck. The majority of the cards in there were reprints. It's the only reprint starter deck we've had so far. But you got the super rare Uta, and then you got free event cards. So I'm hoping it's at least the same thing here. At the worst, I'm hoping it's the same. Hey, this Smoker deck is mostly reprints, meaning Smoker's still not going to be good because we've got these cards already. Oh, but there's a couple new cards in here. And maybe that's enough to push Smoker over the top to be good again. Maybe I'm just wish casting. But a man can dream. Now, Edward Newgate was actually so good it legit got banned for a while. It's back now. And we've got a lovely alternate art. And actually, Newgate is an interesting one because we didn't just get the regular and the alternate art in OPO2. We also got the promo version of Newgate in a playmat set and all of that. So there are different versions of this Newgate that are available and around and can be used. This is just one more version of it. So, yes, it is a great leader, no argument there. And it has been kind of since it came out. But we've already had the alternate art and the one in the special good set for Emperors. So, do we need another version of this Newgate? No, but we're kind of getting one. And I, for one, am quite happy. By the way, there's no question about whether it's the right reprint or not. We know these are all reprints of existing leaders. There are none I'm showing you here that have got more than one leader in the correct colour. So take Luffy, for instance. We know it is a reprint of the Luffy from OPO5. And we can say that with absolute certainty because it's purple Luffy. We've seen plenty of other Luffy leaders. There's a bunch of them out there. None of the others of them are purple. Although, it is worth pointing out that Sound Loader that is coming out does have Luffy. As in the OPO5 Luffy that is being reprinted. So, yeah. We've got another version of this one as well. So, we don't need another version of this Luffy. We've got plenty of them. But I don't know, there's something quite cool about this, isn't there? Already having 4 different versions of the same card? It's a leader, you can only play one version of it. I still think it's pretty cool. And then finally, we've got the Doof Flamingo coming. And again, it's a blue Doof Flamingo leader. So there's no issues here. There's no questions. We know it has to be the Doof Flamingo leader from OPO1 because it's a reprint. And the only blue Doof Flamingo leader we've had was in OPO1. Was actually a very good deck back in OPO1. Hasn't been good since then. But it does have an interesting skill whereby you can look at the top card of your deck, and if it's a 7 Warlords and a Sea character of a cost of 4 or less, you can play it rested. And we have gotten more cards lately that allow you to rearrange the top cards of your deck to stack your deck a little bit. I'm not saying this Doof Flamingo is about to turn around and be amazing, not saying that for a second. I am saying it's got a better chance now than it's had for a long time. I'll let you decide exactly how good that is. So we do now have the images of the products from Japan, and we know that our boxes are going to look exactly the same with English writing. We know that Katakuri and Uta in that order are going to be the most difficult to get hold of, and the other 4, I mean look, they've been up for pre-order for a little while and they're still up for pre-order and they're cheap. Like, they're a regular budget price. I'm assuming that means they're going to stay there, or at least for a little while, but we wait and see. I'm in Japan 3 weeks after these come out. Maybe I can pick them all up there. For now, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know your thoughts, your opinions. I want to know which of the 6 you are most excited about, like I'm excited for Smoker. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.